So there's two things that can either happen when you stayed up past your bedtime and it gets to that infamous time of 3 o'clock. Either you think about your ex and how they did you dirty and then you go and goon off to old pictures of yourself, or you think about how your ex did you dirty and how they ain't shit, how you're better than them, and you want to show it in every way possible. I realized that 3 a.m. is like that red mushroom in Mario Kart, you know what I'm saying, where when you get it, it's like a short-term boost, it's a short-term burst of energy, but like it's only so temporary. And now we all know that motivation in general is super temporary, it's not a consistent thing. And the same thing applies when it comes to that 3 a.m. motivation. We don't know what it is, but when it's just late at night, you somehow just have so much like energy to just do shit and get things going. I'm not sure if you just start thinking about how your life ain't nothing, or maybe how you can be so much ahead, or you just start thinking about all the things that you currently have going on in life and how you want to just make more progress. Like 3 a.m. is just the infamous time, because again, you can either use it for productivity or you could just be a complete degenerate and do the complete opposite. Either way, I realized that with this 3 a.m. motivation, it's such good energy to actually get you going to actually making progress in life. They don't know how to make long-term progress in that moment, and instead use that energy for short-term bursts that won't even show actual results once you're done with that short burst. So I'm going to tell you guys how to actually use your 3 a.m. motivation to actually start seeing long-term progress in your life after it's 3 a.m. and not just in that current moment, right? And so the first thing to do is to not do anything. Is to literally just sit there and don't do anything. Now you get the urge to go do this, go do that, go do whatever, but I'm telling you, for the first couple of while, just literally sit there and don't do anything. Sit with your thoughts and think about how you can use this energy more productively, because again, this energy, it's temporary, it's not gonna last a whole lot. The second you wake up, it's gonna be gone. So we want to think about what is it that we actually want to do with this energy instead of just acting quickly, right? It's amazing to quickly act and take action on something, but taking action is better if you have mapped out an actual plan of what you're gonna do. Again, this energy is super limited and it's easy to just waste it on things that won't even matter. So my whole thing is, this energy, since it's so limited, I want you guys to create something where when you wake up the next morning, you have a result of the thing that you created from that 3 a.m. motivation. So the result of that motivation is still there once you wake up in the morning. An example of this is, let's say 50 push-ups, right? Let's say you get this burst of energy and you just want to get down and do 50 push-ups, do 100 sit-ups, do whatever, right? Just start going crazy, right? That's cool, that's great. But the thing is, again, since the energy is so temporary, you're gonna wake up the next day and you're not, let's be honest, you're not gonna remember the 50 push-ups you did. It's not gonna be like a long-term result that you could have taken away from that motivation. Instead of, okay, working out, great, you can still work out, but I want you to take that energy that you have and, let's say, create a meal plan for yourself. Create an entire week's schedule of a workout plan that you're gonna do for yourself. So that way when you wake up the next morning, you're like, holy crap, I actually have an entire week's workout plan rather than just 50 push-ups that I did because of the motivation that night. Instead, you actually have something tangible and you have like a result that will last you past the 3 a.m. motivation. Something that's gonna last you longer than just in that current moment. So again, you're not gonna really remember the 50 push-ups that you did, but you're gonna remember the diet plan that you made yourself, or maybe even you use that energy and make something creative. You're gonna create some type of video or like produce a beat. So the reason why it's so important to do that is because, again, it's just a time where there's no external distractions. It's 3 a.m. Who's awake, right? Everybody in your house should be asleep. And so when there's no external distractions, it gives you a lot of time to do research, not just with external things, but also just within, right? Doing a lot of self-reflection, having a lot of time to just sit with yourself and just scope out whatever you want to do. And so again, doing nothing is not a bad thing at all. There's a lot of times where if I get time in the day to myself, I will literally just sit in my room and just think. But the reason why a lot of us get this 3 a.m. motivation is because during 3 a.m., again, there's not a lot of external distractions, and so our brain actually has time to just sit with everything and then start probably like surfacing things from the subconscious to the conscious. And so again, like throughout your day, we're constantly running around, we're constantly doing things, so you're not gonna be having that type of energy when you're constantly on the go mentality, right? It's like when you get shower thoughts, right? It's like when you get shower thoughts, or maybe you're doing the dishes and you're just like, just doing whatever, right? And then that you're getting all these good ideas. Like when you're just doing mundane tasks, this is when you start getting all these ideas going in your head. Is because, again, your brain has time to just sit with everything that's processed throughout the day, and then everything just starts piling up in the front of it, and you start thinking about everything and how your life is and where you're at and everything. Like this is when everything just comes up to the surface. And so obviously then in that moment when you start thinking about everything, that's when you're gonna get that boost in motivation of like, holy crap, like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, my life is like this, I want it to be like this. Like you just start thinking about everything. Again, when you're constantly staying up late, you're constantly giving your brain a chance to surface those things to conscious and start thinking about those things. But the thing is, we don't want to be staying up at 3 a.m. every single night, right? Like as people, if you want to be successful, every successful person gets good sleep, right? Like this whole idea of, oh, I go to sleep late or I wake up or super early. Do whatever fits with you, but you have to be getting good sleep. Successful people get good sleep, okay? Stop staying up super late at night if you don't have to. Like most people just be staying up late doom scrolling or whatever the heck they're doing, right? If you're staying up late at night, first of all, get better sleep. And secondly, I want to tell you guys how to actually have this 3 a.m. type of motivation throughout your normal day and not super late at night. It just goes back to the idea of make time for yourself to just sit with you and your thoughts. Literally make time for yourself to just do mundane little tasks or little habits that allow your brain to just sit with itself and just, you know, giving yourself the time to just reflect on things, having things come up to the surface. Because again, throughout the day, we're constantly just going. But if you give yourself time to just sit with yourself and reflect, then a lot of the times you are going to start having time to think about what you want to think about, and naturally you'll start getting a little bit rush of like motivation. Again, motivation is not a consistent thing, but this is just a little way where you can start to get little boost of energy throughout your day or get things done, right? And going back to the whole making sure you have some type of thing as a result of your 3 a.m. motivation. I know that there's some times where you just can't do that certain thing in the moment, right? Like it's 3 a.m. A lot of things are like it's basically your whole town must be closed, or maybe you just got to do things that require you to not just be in your room, right? Obviously, when that occurs, do the same thing where it's like write a list down of things that you need to get done or things that you want to get done or goals or tasks or just whatever, right? Just write it down somewhere. Something could be short term, some could be long term, but you just want to make sure that when you have this burst of energy that you're going to make sure that you write down things or do things that are going to show in the long term or in the short term as a result, and not just in that moment, not just in the 3 a.m. that you are awake for. Besides that, again, give yourself the time that you need. Don't be staying up at 3 a.m. You can get that 3 a.m. motivation throughout your day by just doing mundane things and allowing your brain to just sit with itself and, you know, kind of just let it catch up to itself. But yeah, anyways, get good sleep. On Hunnid, stay home with yourself.